Hi, I'm Juanita and welcome back to the Knit Guru. Now it's a mildish morning, but we're still in winter, and this is my video of everything that I knit and crochet in the month of June. Now I would like to start by saying I had big plans. Big plans. Did they come to fruition? No, they did not. I did make success in some areas, and I did work on other things that weren't. Life happened. Yeah, life happened. Life definitely happened. There was a lot of life. June was a very busy month, and July looks just as busy, to be honest. Right, okay, what are we going to start with? We're going to start with the 1 hour beanie. Now, this is the 1 hour beanie. She says putting it on over the top of her hair while it's all tied up. The 1 hour beanie is one of my most popular patterns over on my website. Now, the 1 hour beanie knits up in an hour. To be fair, it knits up in an hour if you know what you're doing. Oh, the wind is now getting up. Now that is chilly. And it's going to interrupt my audio. And it's the last day of June, so I really do need to get this filmed now. We might just have to deal with it. I'm so sorry. The 1 hour beanie, there will be a tutorial video coming up for it because it's one of those ones where the pattern's been around forever. I think I released it as a last minute Christmas gift, and it's remained one of the most popular patterns on my website. This time I've done it knitted flat to make it even easier because the original 1 hour beanie is knit in the round. But this pattern's going to be coming out very shortly. I made this up because one of the friends of my stepson who's been helping build the house, it's his birthday coming up in a couple of days, so I thought I will make him a chunky beanie so that when he's around he's nice and warm, and that makes a reasonable present. I also made let me see if I'm going to remember to actually put this in because I never remember to do this hat. Now the builder of our house, my brother-in-law, he had his birthday, and as is par for the course, the reminder of birthdays coming up seems to happen as, oh, it's Steve's birthday tomorrow. So I did speed knit it. I absolutely speed ran the hat, and I'll link the pattern because that pattern's already gone up because it was a very cool pattern. What else did I get finished? I made my Labubu. I've still got to put the glow-in-the-dark teeth in. I've just got to find the glow-in-the-dark yarn. So I made my Labubu. My only thing wrong with my Labubu is that it's massive. Since then, I've been sent a Lafufu. See if I can get my Lafufu off my knitting bag, because my Lafufu is kind of hilarious. Come here. So this is my Lafufu. This one is 100% not real. I love the fact that it thinks it's real because it's got like branding on it, but it's not real. It's 100% not real. I think I could pop all the feet out if I wanted to. The arms are terrible. The face is cursed. I don't want to see if I can break its head off, but I'm sure that I can. But you can see that my Lafufu and my Lafufu are different sizes. So what I would like to do now is to not make one this size. I want to make a Lafufu for my Lafufu. So that's going to be my next plan, is can I make a tiny Lafufu. There's a video about this. I might link this below. I do quite like this pattern. However, it is very heavy in the head because you knit the whole head and then you put the head casing on it, whereas the body's quite soft and smushy because that's just the fur yarn. So, you know, there's that. I did make my Labubu, even though, am I? I can't even remember what the sentence is anymore. But either way, I don't have a problem with Labubu now, other than everybody seems to be going for Labubu. Fortunately, I'm in rural New Zealand, so as yet, I have not hung this on my school bag yet. I plan to hang it on my school bag, and then I'm going to find out how many teenagers are into Labubu. Right, one thing I did finish is I did finish this granny square, granny hexagon cardigan. Now this is, oh, I need to do one more end. I thought I was about to say I've done all the ends and everything. This is for my nephew who's currently at university. He didn't want cuffs, which still feels weird to me because I feel like it needs cuffs, but I'm happy with this. I kept trying it on my stepson to make sure it was going to fit and that the sleeves were the right length, and I think it's going to be good. I do need to darn in this end. So I'm not even quite finished this. I'm one darn end away from finishing this. Is there a matching one on the other side? No, it's just that one. Just that one needs doing. So that will take me about 3 seconds. But I've finished this, and this is ready for his birthday. And his birthday is this month, so that works. It was finished in time. I was really worried about the fact that making a... Oh, I've missed another one. I was so proud of myself for having finished it and having darned in all the ends, and now I found 2 ends just immediately that haven't been darned in. So it's not really finished. I have to darn in more ends. At some point, I might do a video of tips and tricks for hexagon cardigans, because I've made a fair few now, and I feel like I'm an expert. Well, as much of an expert as anyone can be. I've made a lot, and I've adapted and changed the way I've made things a few times, and I've seen the issues that other people have had online. What else have I made? Right, this is actually the next day, but I forgot about this accursed project. You may notice it's currently in this Udi pillowcase. Best invention ever, I reckon. I finished the accursed spotlight throw blanket that is too small to be functional, to, I want to say holy, but gappy's probably a more appropriate word because this is quite unholy at the same time. Blanket, if you want the full breakdown, I will link it, because it turns out there were more than just me who bought this yarn, and more than just me who was struggling with it. So there's that. I will now put you back to everything else I made and fold this up, because the one thing I have discovered this one does is I can fold it up into its square sizes, roughly, and put it inside my Udi pillowcase, and I have a flat pillow that's not comfortable at all to use. So that is the best function that I've currently got for this blanket. But when the house is finished, I will put it somewhere, and yes, it might go across the back of it. At this stage, one of the rooms, the plan is to have a sofa bed in it, because that way I can sit on it and film things if I wanted to, but I can fold it out into a bed, but it's not screaming at everybody, come and stay. Maybe I'll put this over the back of a sofa bed, because a sofa bed and this blanket, what a combination of evil. Right, I will send you back to me from the past, and I will go back and actually finish my high-vis vest now. I have made, these are fronts of the cardie. We're now into incomplete objects, obviously. This is the back of the cardie. These are the sleeves of the cardie. So this is now quite urgent to get this stitched together, because what I need to do is to stitch this together and then do the button band. And I feel like I need to do the button band first, because otherwise I will not want to do the button band, because I hate doing ribbing. And then I'm going to knit strawberries and stitch them on my cardie. That's been my plan all along. This is my strawberry cardie. There will be a video about it, because when I first had the thought, I started off, but I can't actually remember whether or not I had started this last month. I feel like I must have, but mostly this has been mindless knitting, because it's a It's a drop sleeve cardigan. So I feel like whenever I wear a raglan, it really does emphasize my wide shoulders because I've got wide square shoulders. So this is a drop sleeve, which kind of says I'm a box already. Let me be a box. So that's it. I've got my drop sleeve cardigan, but I do need to stitch it up, and I do need to do the button band, and then I can do the strawberries. I keep toying with the fact that I could do the strawberries early, and then I don't. Yeah. The next one that I've nearly finished, and I thought that I was going to have this finished over this weekend, but it was Pokemon Go Fest, and I did Pokemon. This is my safety vest. It's currently all just ends, but it was this morning actually that I finished off the ribbing around the neck hole. So where are we up to on this? We are arg. You know, no one will ever say that this is not a professional channel. Highly professional. So I've got my vest. It comes around the sides. So what I need to do is to stitch up this shoulder, and then once I stitch up this shoulder, I can do the ribbing around each of the armholes. You may notice that from the book vest, this has come in quite a distance to be a much better fitting vest. The aim is, though, is that I need to finish my safety vest in order to be able to wear it around my building site and at least make somebody laugh. There's still scaffolding for the next wee while, so this one should be finished in the next day or two, because all I really need to do is some ribbing and some stitching up and darning in all of these ends. There should be a video on this, and there will be a pattern for it, even though I'm not sure that anyone's interested in having their own hot pink safety vest. What else have I been working on? I have been working on socks. So this is a pair of socks. We've turned the corner. I like having a pair of socks on the go, and mainly I like having a pair of socks on the go for knitting on the go, but this is normally my car project. I have 2 pairs of car socks, to be honest, but I don't know where I've put the other one. The other one was meant to be finished for a couple of weekends ago. They were going to be my Matariki socks with stars on them that glowed in the dark. See, I did say to Annie the other day that, yeah, most of my projects do glow in the dark. I do also need to make a glow-in-the-dark hat, because it's the midwinter festival of Christmas in Greytown, and they have a light-up glow evening, so I definitely need to make a hat. So then when I go to the light-up glow evening, my head glows. If that's not a good enough reason, I don't know what is. But I'm that far through a sock, so there's that. And then, of course, there is the Hobie Easy Summer Cow Cardi knit-along. And I'll show you where I'm up to on this. Now, it's worth remembering that we're on week 4. So you've got that week 4. Week 4. I have not yet finished week 1, because I couldn't get my head around what was happening. I know that it kept saying trust the process, but I didn't trust the process, because I'm still not sure whether or not I need size 2 or size 3, or looking at this, maybe size 1. Because I made this and I was thinking, is this meant to be centre back? Because they did say it's for the back, but I think this is actually across the shoulder at the back. Because then what I'm going to do is pick up the stitches along the rest and knit downwards for the cardi and extend under the armpit. So here's the issue. It just says to knit this to a certain length and then to pick up a certain number of stitches. It doesn't give very specific instructions about where to pick up these stitches or which ones to pick up. If I was doing this as socks, I would pick up all of these loops. And when I was starting to knit this, I was figuring, okay, so these are my stitches, because, you know, we've been specifically told not to slip the stitches on the edges, but to knit them. So maybe we're going to use those loops. but that's not going to work either. So other than the fact that I'm this far through week 1, and I am going to commit and finish it because it will probably be the last Hobie project I get to do in a long time, because, you know, Hobie are not sending to the Southern Hemisphere. But I'm just finding those instructions, as well as the fact that it had a provisional cast on. So maybe what's going to end up happening is that it's going to be right across there, and then I'm going to pick up those stitches for the sleeves, in which case this is probably the right length. But it's not. It's a lot shorter than it needs to be, even for size 1. So it might be trust the process, but I'm also scared of the process at this point. But I am going to sit down in the next few days, because we are now on school holidays, and I'm going to see what I can do on this. But that's where my easy summer cardi is. And I was so excited about working on it. Now I'm less excited about working on it because I'm just finding the whole thing a bit scary. So I think what I'm going to have to do one day is just wake up nice and early, have a nice cup of coffee, and count is the thing. So what are my plans for the month of July? I need a glow-in-the-dark hat so that I can wear it to a glow-in-the-dark festival and look cool. I need to finish my vest. I need to finish my vest in the next couple of days. That would be useful. I need to finish my strawberry cardi while it's still winter and it's still cold, because I'd like to be able to wear it. I would like to make progress on my Hobie cardi. I would like to make a tiny lafufu. They're the biggies at the moment. But like, I've got this massive long list of things I'd like to do. I also would like to crochet a bag. Not the Hobie bag that I've bought the kit for yet. I bought a whole stack of bag making supplies from Daiso, which is like a Japanese discount store. So my plan is to crochet that up into a bag using just supplies from Daiso, because I actually quite like their supplies. I also have all this garden to weed, and I have builders to feed, and work to do. And like today I'm off doing a first aid course. So I've turned out to be a lot busier than I thought I was going to be. So there's that. I mean, to be fair, I'm always busy, so I should stop assuming that I'm going to have time off. And I feel like it's going to remain being very busy for some time. What videos am I going to create for you? I don't know. I do live in fear that I'm going to be having to drop down to 1 video a week, and I don't want to do that. Yeah, who knows? But, yeah, I do have a lot of plans. I do have a long list of projects. I just need time and space to do a lot of them. And I don't have time or space to do a lot of them, which is a shame. I do need to finish my big blanket. That is not going to be anytime soon. Maybe that's going to be when I finish, when we finish the house and move into it. But hopefully, we might be living in it by the next set of school holidays, which would be great. And then there'll be a lot of painting. I am looking forward to the painting of the interior of this house, that's for sure. Yeah, so I don't know. At some point there might be a video on the house. I've got bits and pieces, and every now and again I do put in an update at the end. It's nice B-roll at the end. So then your recommended videos sit on top of something. See, I'm trying to become a YouTuber. I'm trying to make sense of it all. Yeah. All right, well, I will let you go at this point, and I hope you enjoyed everything I did in crochet in the month of June. To be fair, it is actually more than I thought I'd managed to do this morning. This morning I thought I had just finished the cardi. So I will now go in and I will make breakfast, and then I'll go off and have my first aid certification renewed. And then I will work out what I'm going to do with the rest of my day after that. So I will catch you at the end of the week. Bye. All right, this is my from the vegetable garden update on the house. There's a roof on most of it, but not all of it. Where's my finger? There's my finger. This bit up here, there's been a problem with the engineering, so the portico's not on the house. So they're kind of having to build it out of sequence, but the windows are all in. So at least it looks a bit like a house. But when the breeze gets up, all of those weather barriers just sort of flap, and it's just annoying. So yeah, it does need more flashings, it needs finishing, but we're getting there. Hopefully the engineers come soon.